They're doing their best to try to shut down the rally, but we got more good news than bad. Jerome Powell was part of that bad news because he said, yo, you ain't getting that many rate cuts in 2025, but RLUSD launched. We can track it. XRP price talk at the end.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Oh, it's painful to see this on the screen, but what's good is when you can track RLUSD. We'll get into that, but your comments come first because you, the viewer, matter most. Trix's nice dip. I'm buying. Yeah, we've had several rounds of dips. All has to do with the negativity from Jerome Powell. Tim Clark says it was the crash before Christmas, and all through the market, not a creature was breathing, not even a mouse. But don't worry, everyone, because I'll bring you the news whether it's good or bad, because I'm Crypto with Klaus. Jeremy Touche dropping support on the channel says, and thank you, by the way, Jeremy. It's Klaus, forgive my ignorance, but I was wondering, what happens with BTC when it's all mined out and sold? How does it hold its value? It's kind of like this baseball card, 1987 Harold Baines, Donruss. Love how that card looked, right? They don't make it anymore. The value is determined by how much people want it. During baseball season, value of Baines goes up. If all of a sudden Harold Baines does something cool, like maybe it's an anniversary of something big that he did, guess what? His card will pop in value. Very similar to BTC. People aren't using BTC as payments. They're using layer 2 action on BTC for payments, or they're using stable coins, right? So when it comes to BTC, it's the store of value play. It's the how much do people want to pay for it? Because you're right, once it's all mined, then what? But the thing BTC has for it that all the alts don't, well, most of the alts don't, is guess what? No one knows who created it, so they don't know who to go after. See, that's why Gensler went after XRP with Ripple. Why? Because they knew, hey, who was in charge of XRP? It was Ripple. Who's in charge of XLM? It's Stellar. Who's in charge of BTC? Well, really no one, right? That's why BTC was given the golden pass. Speaking of the golden pass, BTC couldn't hold that 107,000, and now the market's in the red. Thanks, BTC. You're not helping us out, and neither is Jerome Powell. Bitcoin's hitting at 99,764. ETH is 3582. God, we were just talking about ETH at 4,000 being a laggard, and now we're like, yo, girlfriend, this ain't gonna happen. 230 is the price of XRP. We're gonna go more in depth with that. By the way, I am still okay with 230 XRP. As long as we're above 220 and we saw support again right around the 220 mark, we're going to talk about it. I'm a happy camper. Rest of the market deep in the red. This is why. Bitcoin sinks to below 100,000, pulling the alts with it, following the Fed's hawkish signals. That's right. Big stuff from the Fed. Now, I warned you about it a day before the Fed's video. Then we talked about it during the live stream, and I said, hey, when Jerome goes on the mic, watch what happens. And then it happened. The Fed cut its benchmark interest rate by 25 basis points. The market expected that. Here's the problem, though. The market also was expecting 4 rate cuts in 2025, where now the projections from the Fed say we're only going to get 2. So again, it wasn't the fact that Jerome and the Fed cut at 25 basis points. It was their tone afterwards. And that's exactly what I was telling you that we had to look for in terms of price action. And that's exactly when XRP started tumbling. And again, when the traditional markets started playing nasty. Now, it gets worse. Because not only was Jerome, stingy, hawkish, prude, he also said no to BTC. Jerome Powell said, they asked him, said, what do you think about BTC Strategic Reserve? And he said the Federal Reserve is prohibited from owning BTC. Shooting it down right there, saying that politicians would have to rewrite the laws in order to make that happen. That didn't help as well. You know what does help, though? Other good news. You know what else helps? The fact that now market's like, all right, cool. So we're only going to get 2 cuts in 2025. So maybe we won't get as much juicy money from venture capital, but we're going to get more juicy money from what? RLUSD launch? Oh, it's possible, because guess what? I have RLUSD stats for you. But it's also because of all the other changes that are coming with the SEC, new president taking over. So let them fight, let them kick and scream, let them do the best they can to shut down the markets before January 20th, because I believe we got way more juice than what they do. Millions of RLUSD ready to hit the market after the recent launch. And remember, stablecoins are all about company trust. They minted over 10 million. Oh, They minted way, way more than that. And you're like, Klaus, how much do you know what they minted? Because I've got it on the screen. As always, any article you see in this video, along with all my others, will be linked to everyone in the description below. Market cap, 50 million. Right there, girlfriend. 53.15 million. Price is $1, so those people willing to pay $1,200 for a portion of RLUSD were dumb AF. Told everyone not to do that, and so did David Schwartz. Deal is this. RLUSD is launched. It's live, and we're going to be able to track it. You'll be able to track their pairings as well to see that Bitso's got a whole bunch. Bitso's a lot where the volume is. And as more data comes forward, I'll be sure to share it with you. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. Now, what happened yesterday was typical. BTC goes down 1% to 2%, market tanks 5%. Well, BTC went down like 7%, so the market said, screw this bitch, let's get the fuck out of here. And that's what happened, and pushed the alts down even harder. Altcoin season, look at this. We slid all the way to 50. Fear and greed, yeah, we were in the 70s and low 80s, and now we're slid back to 69. Nice, well done. But the altcoin index, BTC dominance means the alts are going to start moving in lockstep with BTC, right? The ebbs and flows of that. XRP's had some price tests. Check it out. Last week, we had a price test, the sub 220, 218, by the way, when we had the 60-minute hit piece and the ditch the BTC reserves on Donald Trump hit piece. Yeah, economic advisors to Biden told him that. What did we have yesterday? We had Jerome Powell and the Fed. Still, traditional finance is wanting to shoot down crypto. Now, let's zoom in a little bit because I want to see what comes up out of this. Because there were a few tests here that we need to pay attention to, and I think they're good things. Now, watch this. All right, watch this. See this move right here? 60 minutes hit piece move. And I'm sorry, we got all the way down to 189. My bad on that one. So the move yesterday didn't even get us close to that. The move yesterday was about 10% higher than the hit piece done by 60 minutes in selling off of BTC. When we zoom in onto the 15 minutes right here, you can see a low candlestick right here, allowing people to buy the dip like Trick at 217. We've gotten support above that, hanging out right now at 230. Could we push back north at 245? They weren't ready for it this morning. But when traditional markets open and when Jerome does his stinginess and then the Asian markets trade the action, we know it's going to happen. Push down action for XRP. But XRP is still holding very, very strongly. We're still above 230, like I said. And the market will be happy above 220. We get above 220 going into January 20th, where we can start getting the positive stuff happening with crypto. That's a win. If we're at 230, 240, 250, well, that's more W's on top of that W. Now, the good news is not too long ago, XRP was touching 270. So you're seeing massive amounts of volatility out there. Now, because you have massive amounts of volatility, you're getting a lot of risky players that want to jump in the pool. And you know how I start my videos off saying, if it's hot, spicy, naughty, and relevant, maybe I'll share. Well, XRP is hot, spicy, naughty, and relevant. So people want to play in its backyard. The volume is up 51% to $23 billion. So that means you're going to get a lot of short-term players coming in, which means you're going to get a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunities to buy dips, sell tips, buy dips and hodl, and play whatever strategy you want because XRP is not stagnant. So yes, we got kicked in the teeth yesterday with Jerome Powell. Yes, I did tell you that is exactly what was going to happen the day before the meeting. So don't say I didn't tell you so. Now that being said, does it kill the rally? No. Does it hurt the rally? Yeah, of course. We would love to have 4 rate cuts in 2025. But if we only get 2, that's okay because we're still going to get regs. We're still going to get a new SEC. We're still going to get a whole bunch of other juicy crypto action. So yeah, bad news is happening, but we got way more good news to outweigh it. And the best part about this is that if the market is digesting a more pessimistic Fed, and remember, the U.S. Fed has influence across the globe. In fact, a whole bunch of central banks across the globe, if the Fed drops it a quarter, they instantly do the same thing. If the Fed ups it a quarter, same thing. They follow the cues from the Fed. So the whole market right now is digesting this hawkish and negative tone. Cool. Let the market digest it because in 2025, we've got a hell of a lot more good news than we've got bad. I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but the whole point of me bringing you the news, good or bad, is so that you're prepared for days like yesterday and today. That's why I don't just bring you the hopium fluff stories. I bring you the stuff where the odds are starting to peel back about rate cuts. And we've been talking about it the last several weeks. We've been following the money. We've been following the odds. We've been following the news. In fact, last week, if you watched, I shared with you a video that talked about the expectation from the Fed to crush the market so that things don't overheat. And that the Fed presidents were going to be extremely hawkish. And we saw that with their projection. But here's the problem, though. Not everyone in the market is up to speed like we are, especially in the retail segment. That's why it's so important for you to share the content with others out there that are into crypto. Hit the like button because then YouTube shares it with more people that search crypto in YouTube. And more people will be informed and you won't have as big of impacts like you're seeing up on the screen. Now, the positive news will most definitely outweigh the negative news. But you gotta go through this, and this is part of the deal. You're not always going to have green candlestick after green candlestick after green candlestick. XRP stalled around $1. XLM stalled around 40 cents. We keep making those moves. We keep making those moves to go forward on up. So yes, short-term bad news, but long-term we got lots of juicy goody news. And then, all right, Fed, if you don't want to cut it 4 times in 2025, you still got to cut it eventually, right? So then does that mean you're going to help us in 2026 and push things even better then, Fed? Choo-choo, bitches.